Hello and welcome to the Theme Development Tutorial Series. My name is Adam. Today we are going to be talking about some important history in regards to CleanSlate. CleanSlate originally started in roughly 2011 and 2012 as a project to replace another content management system called Slate CMS, to update the Slate CMS to provide a new CMS with modern technology and modern workflows to suit West Virginia University. So at the time of this recording, CleanSlate has about 681 live sites and over 1,000 sites that are either in development or archived or live, I should say. This is the total amount of sites in CleanSlate. It currently serves somewhere between 50 and 60,000 different pages at WVU, and is built, maintained, and is supported by University Relations Digital Services within West Virginia University. Over the years, we, and by we I mean University Relations, have always provided theme developers with a toolkit or boilerplate to kind of jumpstart their making sites with CleanSlate CMS. And over the years between 2011-12ish and now the end of 2019, we have gone through roughly 4 different iterations of this kind of starter package. The first iteration of this starter package was actually called the CleanSlate Toolkit. And if you want to check out the CleanSlate Toolkit theme, it is actually on GitHub. If you go to github.com/WVU-web/CleanSlate-toolkit, you will find it there. And in an earlier video, we actually had a bit of a preview about what the CleanSlate Toolkit theme looks like. It's a very basic, low-level theme. We included, a masthead, a little area for your site title, a navigation, and some breadcrumbs, a main content area, and a sidebar, and a footer. So, under the hood, we essentially included just a style sheet that had a grid system, normalized CSS. We didn't really include very many like components or pre-built, things to use out of the box. We kind of said, here's a foundation, here's a very low-level foundation, and here you go, build on top of that. So one of the advantages of the CleanSlate Toolkit is that it's an incredibly simple theme. And if you're new to building themes in CleanSlate, then checking out the CleanSlate Toolkit theme is a great place to kind of get your feet wet. There's not a whole lot of super complex logic or anything in the templates. It's kind of like whatever you see there is a very basic foundation and a great starting point to learn CleanSlate themes. So the second iteration of a theme that we provided, or a starter package that we provided for CleanSlate theme developers, was something called brand patterns. At some point in here, we went through a university rebrand, and we also kind of re-upped our base theme that we offered to different theme developers. Brand patterns was a bit of a step up from the CleanSlate Toolkit in the fact that we essentially provided more example patterns to various developers. We provided a number of different mastheads. We provided different hero elements, and this kind of helped unify the design language that we had just gone through as part of this rebrand. So there's a number of components in here that you can check out at patterns.wvu.edu/patterns. And I would say at this time, there are a ton of websites out there that are still in production that use brand patterns as their kind of base theme. They use that as their foundation to start developing their theme. So taking a look at the brand patterns site is an important thing to do. It incorporates some open source technology like normalized.css, and it also incorporates the Bourbon Neat grid system, I should note that the version that Brand Patterns uses is actually 1.7.2. So Bourbon Neat, we configured Bourbon Neat. It's a SAS-based grid system, and we configured it to basically be a 12-column grid system, and we mainly use the span columns mix-in, which allows you to specify the number of columns that you want for a specific layout. And we also use this omega mix-in and maybe a couple other ones in here, but those are the basics. And if you are not familiar, if you have sites that use Brand Patterns and are not familiar with the Bourbon Neat grid system, I'd encourage you to go on YouTube or other resources online and watch someone teach about the Bourbon Neat grid system, or just go ahead and inspect some of the code in a theme that you currently have, and you can kind of reverse engineer some of that stuff. So as far as learning CleanSlate themes, learning from the Brand Patterns theme is actually a pretty good starting place as well. After you have checked out the CleanSlate Toolkit and want to learn a little bit more, checking out the Brand Patterns theme is a good idea because it adds components that you can see how things are built, but it sticks to primarily like HTML in a very familiar way, and doesn't add a whole lot of logic or complexity in the templates. So if you're looking to kind of explore more from what the CleanSlate Toolkit offered and still have something that's pretty understandable, it's important to check out Brand Patterns. And Brand Patterns is actually also available on GitHub. It's github.com/wvuweb/brand-patterns. You can check out the code right there on GitHub in our GitHub organization. So after we built Brand Patterns, we noticed that people enjoyed having pre-built components to use for their sites. And we kind of expanded on that idea and built SuperTheme. And SuperTheme is essentially the next version. It's the third iteration of our base template, and it provides a number of different patterns for people to use and check out. And you can kind of see here on this documentation site, it provides you with a preview of the pattern, different colors you can use with the pattern, and some do's and don'ts for using this pattern. One thing that is pretty unique to SuperTheme is this concept of slots. So one of the features that SuperTheme brings to the table is that it allows people who don't want to touch code basically to interact with the theme more through the UI, through the CleanSlate user interface through this concept called slots. What does that mean? I am going to bring up this Spartan Race site, and if we actually look at the home page here, this is the home page. It's basically got a masthead, a navigation bar. This is a hero component, and then this is a backpage component, and then this is like a two-column diptych component and a footer. So basically the core of this page is this hero, this backpage component, and then this like two-column diptych component. If we look in this page, in this site's page properties for the home page, and we click on custom data, and I'm going to cover more about this at a later video, but we're just going to scroll down here to the bottom, and you'll notice that there's different slots. So these slots are essentially patterns or components that you can use and kind of plug into your site's pages without having to touch any code. So for example, we can go on here to SuperTheme site, click on hero, and you can see that this is essentially the same hero that you see here with a background image. So this hero says, okay, you have a number of options. This is the text that you put into one of the slots, so either slot 01 all the way through to slot 10, and you have a number of options available to you to configure the hero and the do's and don'ts to do that. So as I said before, many people enjoy working like this because it eliminates having to work with code pretty much in most ways. You don't have to commit changes to the repository with Git. You don't have to open a code editor. It's kind of like a visual graphical user interface to create a page or a site. Similarly, so this is the hero component. If we look over here, this also got a back page and media object component in here. So this is the back page, this is the media object component. And if we go back here, we can actually see that there's the back page component here. So it's just a 2-column thing going on. And then the media object is here. So these are the components that make up this, and this is one of the advantages of SuperTheme, is just being able to make a layout of a website through a graphical user interface very quickly. So SuperTheme kind of uses some more advanced techniques when creating these page types. So it might not be the best place to start if you're just learning how to create themes in CleanSlate, but it does use things like variables and some logic in the templates to determine what pattern or what component to put in each slot. If you want to check out SuperTheme, it's on Bitbucket. If you go to bitbucket.org and log in, and then you can use the search over here to search for UR SuperTheme v2, and you can see the code that is used for SuperTheme. I should also note that SuperTheme still uses Sass, along with the brand patterns both use Sass, and they both still use the Bourbon Neat Grid system, and they both use Gulp, or you could use CodeKit or Preprose or another tool to compile Sass if you like. But that is essentially what SuperTheme looks like. And the next iteration of the boilerplate that we have been providing to people is called the WVU Design System. The WVU Design System is the most recent boilerplate that we offer to prof techs and designers. It is actually based off of a whole different framework than the previous system, so it's different than CleanSlate Toolkit, it's different than Brand Patterns, and it's different than SuperTheme. The framework that it's based off of is Bootstrap, and Bootstrap is an extremely popular front-end framework. You can check it out at getbootstrap.com. One of the things that was very tricky with SuperTheme is that you had to kind of know what words to enter into these slots. And with the design system, we have improved CleanSlate to the point where you no longer have to know what to put in these slots. You can actually choose from a select box or a checkbox or stuff like that. So let's take a look at what that means. So here I've navigated to the University Relations Enrollment Management site in CleanSlate. This is the back end of the CleanSlate. And you'll notice that the slots now have a number of different options. And instead of having to type in something like Backpage, we can actually choose from a select box. We can choose different components from a select box and kind of configure them. So, we can say if this is site-wide, we can tell it an instance. We can, do a bunch of kind of configure it in various ways. So using these techniques makes it easier for the end user to kind of configure the layout and look of their site. And under the hood, we actually also have various utility classes to make things, either look a certain color. You can change the text color or background color. You can change the typography. There's essentially a bunch of utility classes that you can just kind of add to your HTML to make things look how you want. Now, I feel obligated to mention that since we have all this functionality kind of in the user interface, the theme side of the design system is much more complicated. It relies a lot on logic and variables and advanced theming techniques that are probably very difficult to understand as a new CleanSlate theme user. So if you're just starting to learn CleanSlate themes, I would stick to our earlier templates to get your foundation going before diving into the design system. So that's a good introduction to the history of CleanSlate. Basically, there's the CleanSlate Toolkit, brand patterns, the UR SuperTheme, and the design system. And if you want to check all those out, I encourage you to do so. In the next video, we are going to look at getting access to CleanSlate themes and actually creating sites and basically start the process of learning how to create themes in CleanSlate. Stay tuned.